Hello smart viewers and welcome back to Face to Face. Now we're gonna talk about a unique topic which is MMA, and we're gonna also teach you in the last segment about how to do the self-defense, the basic self-defense, and we're with Omar. Apparently Omar also do this MMA thing, which is really interesting. Yeah, so tell us briefly about how do you get involved in MMA itself?
Okay, well, let me tell you like the most cliche story you would ever hear about.
Yeah.
A kid who's a bit thin, weak, gets bullied up until grade 6, good, and then he decides that that's enough. What does this kid do? First of all, he heads to the gym, and then he decides that he needs to learn a fighting martial art. First of all, he tries karate. But no, karate is not good enough.
Yeah.
Then he might think a bit about judo, but no, judo is not enough. And then suddenly he watch on the TV something called UFC. UFC, probably. Most of the people around here in Indonesia watch it actually.
Yeah.
And then what's UFC? UFC is MMA, which is actually mixed martial arts. Simply, if you're playing any type of martial arts, you can play mixed martial arts. Good. Mixed martial arts, at the beginning I decided, okay, let's learn mixed martial arts. At the beginning I decided to go on my own actually, watching a couple of YouTube videos, having a couple of my friends. One of them is actually an international player. He's called Ragab. Ragab has actually been into Italy for a couple of championships when it comes to MMA. He's really good. He gave me a couple of moves, he taught me a bit, and then I went into my first championship, EFC.
So he is your first tutor.
Mentor, yeah, that's
your
it.
First mentor in MMA, okay.
Exactly. And then I went actually in a couple of matches. I've had a match with a black belt karate player. I did win against him in the first round. And then I went into the EFC, Egyptian Fighting Championship. I have actually won a couple of matches in it. Actually, one time during a match, I was a bit exhausted. We're in the third round. My defense is down. It's totally open. My whole face is open. And up until now, I got a straight punch into my nose. I can't remember up until now. I didn't see the punch. And up until now, I don't remember this punch. And probably I got an injury.
So it was like a total blackout after that punch.
No, not a total blackout. I was still able to stand up. But actually, up until now, I had that injury in my nose that actually, if you try just to touch it one way or another, it will bleed. Just from that punch. So MMA is a bit dangerous. If you're not ready to sacrifice the injuries of it, then don't. Just don't do it. But other than that, believe me, it's made for, it helps you to be more independent, more strong, gets you a bit confident to actually be an MMA player.
Okay.
So this is, I got also into it. I first went to the Dragon Den Dojo. The first actually Egyptian man to introduce MMA to Egypt was Sensei Amr al-Alfi. He's one of the most greatest MMA players.
A legend.
Yeah, he is a legend. Actually, you can check him on YouTube, Amr al-Alfi. His matches are awesome. He's just something else. Actually, one time at the beginning, when I was in the beginner stage, with him, training with him, a guy who just came also to the Dragon Den Dojo, has been for 3 weeks, something like that. He went up to him and he said, I want to challenge you, I want to play a match against you.
Against you?
No, not against me, against Amr al-Alfi, the sensei himself. The point is, Amr al-Alfi just cracked. He laughed a lot. And then he told him, okay, I'll just make you go into fight with another beginner who has been playing this sport for 6 months. And let's see if you were able to win the spar against him, I will fight you. Believe me, this guy at the beginning of the match, so the sensei goes fight, he just takes a right hook, that's it. He fakes out. So this is the point in MMA. If you don't have the strength to take a punch and stand up again, this is mixed martial arts. It's not about how strong you are. It's not about how accurate you are. It's not about how the speed you've got.
The mentality as well.
The mentality is actually all about being able to take a punch and stand up again. This is all about MMA.
Okay. Yeah. How about the development itself? The development of the sport in Egypt?
Well, the sport itself has become viral back in Egypt. Probably A lot of dojos are being up. A lot of gyms are actually offering MMA classes. But as I said, the main person who had introduced MMA is Amr al-Alfi. And actually, every single like MMA classes or MMA dojos or MMA tutors have been trained by Amr al-Alfi. So the game is pretty much viral. Pretty much a lot of people are starting to playing it. Not only MMA, but also kickboxing. Kickboxing also, you can, whatever the sports you're playing, whatever martial arts, you can go into MMA.
It's a mixed martial arts.
Exactly.
After all.
So MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, all of these games are starting to be a bit more viral back in Egypt. It's all about being strong enough to go and sacrifice whatever you would like to do.
Yeah, so is there any specific year that you can remember the spreading or the development of this MMA? Is it
it
new?
Turned all viral. Well, actually, let's start thanks to the UFC, which has been going on for a long while. But to be specific, probably around 2010, 2009. That's the beginning of the MMA being viral in Egypt. It started long ago, but being viral. I mean, like everyone knows it, and everyone wants to go ahead and try it. At 2009, 2010, probably.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So we'll be back on Face to Face with more about MMA and sports itself. So stay tuned with us and see you soon. Hello smart viewers and welcome back to Face to Face. Now we're going to talk about sports in Egypt, but generally. We're still with Omar. So yeah, is there any sport which is quite successful in Egypt that is considered one of the national sports perhaps?
Well, actually one of the most successful sports back in Egypt up until now, it's squash. We've got that player called Nour al-Shirbini. She is the world championship in squash. I believe she's around 19 years old. Good. That's actually pretty amazing for us Egyptian, and we're really proud of her. We're really proud of what she's done. And also right now in the Olympics, we're doing pretty much good. Like for example, we have in swimming, the first place is actually by an Egyptian girl. Also, that's really good up until now. Also in judo, we have a couple of good players, and they're going up. Let's speak about the most famous type of sport, or the mainstream type of sports. It's actually
because here we play football. That's the famous one.
The same thing. Actually, we have got football. So many teams, good. But let's more speak about the international players we've got the three Mohammeds. Mohammed Zidane, Mohamed Salah, yes, Roma, and also we have Mohamed Al-Nini.
Arsenal.
Yeah, and we definitely have Abu Trika, Mohamed Abu Trika. His name is actually written next to Messi when it comes to, he had scored the highest number of goals when it comes to the World Teams Cup. So that's for football.
Beside MMA, do you play any other sports?
Yeah, I have used to play water polo. Actually, water polo has been played long ago in Egypt. It has been introduced long ago. What's water polo? Water polo is like handball, but it's in the water.
Okay.
Good. A team is supposed to be out of 7, which is 6 players and a goalkeeper. Good. 2 wingmen, 2 halves, 1 in the center, 1 in the back. Good. This game, the problem in Egypt, we got not so many teams playing it, like not many teams, but actually we're doing good when it comes to it. We go to Serbia to train our players. We go to many tough. Let me also state that water polo is the toughest game in the world. This is one of the toughest games in the world.
Why is it?
Well, there's a quote when it comes to water polo that we say, "What happens underwater stays underwater." Let me just not tell you about that. Maybe I would go into the swimming pool into
So
the match.
what happens underwater?
I will give you a certain example. I will go into the match wearing 3 swimming suits, 3 speedos, and I pray to God to get out of the water with 1 at least. Yes, this happened. They might just take it off. Take it off during the match. That's really simple. That's really simple. And as long as the referee doesn't see what's happening, it's okay. You can do pretty much anything. So that's why it's considered one of the world's toughest sports. And then actually, right now, it's the number 1. It's the number 1 when it comes to toughness. And as I've said, what happens underwater stays underwater.
Okay, yeah. How about the government support in the sports? Do you see that your government is supporting it, or do you see lack of support in it from your perspective?
Okay, definitely football. The government supports football a lot. The government supports mainly the Olympic type of games. What the government is lacking support to? It's lacking support to, for example, the powerlifting. Any type of these kind of sports, powerlifting, body shape, stuff like that, this kind of games, it's all ignored. And this is actually a major problem because we've got a lot of good players when it comes to powerlifting. Good. Our players, actually, we have got a player back in Egypt who had broke a world record when it comes to powerlifting, squats and bench, chest thing.
The deadlift.
Yeah, deadlift too. But who heard about it? No one. This is the problem. So the government is not really supporting any of this kind of sports. The government is mainly supporting football, squash, especially after she got the first place, so she been, as we've said. Other than that, no.
What about the local teams? Are they completely nurtured, or they are sometimes abandoned? Is it only for the international who goes to the Olympic, or the local as well?
Only the international teams. Only the international teams. The one that would be more, how can I say, could get us a bit famous, could get the name of Egypt all around. That's the kind of games that we support, the government does support. Other than that, the government doesn't. But hopefully we're having a new government with a new CC, if you know.
CC?
Well, we hope, we just hope it turns out good. As I've told you before, that any revolution or any country in general, it's like a phoenix. What does a phoenix do? It burns, turns into ashes, and then everyone hopes it would rise again. So right now, we are in the ashes state. We don't know whether we will rise up again or not. Up until now, we actually also don't know whether our new president, is he doing good, is he not? You can't actually sense a change in 2 to 3 years. So we're just still waiting.
So right now, you still cannot feel or sense at least a bit?
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. But as I've told you, we're just in the ashes state, and we hope to rise up again. Actually, like what you guys have done. Like your past president was really into the Chinese, and the Chinese would actually be more respected and more in control rather than the Indonesian people. But right now, the new president is changing all of this. But in return, the prices have become a bit higher, actually. This is what I've been told by most of the elders around here, that, okay, the new president, he's returning the whole Indonesian people, and they're making them more respectful, and he's lowering the Chinese control. But over that, the prices are getting a bit high.
Okay, so there are this government role in everything, including sports. So we're gonna end this segment, and we are going to go to the last segment, which is really interesting because we're gonna show you guys how to do a basic self-defense with Omar and a special guest. So stay tuned with us and Face to Face. Hello smart viewers, and welcome back to Face to Face. Now, before we show you the basic self-defense by Omar, we're gonna talk a bit about your experience. You said you're being bullied. What like this typical thing? How is it?
Well, what I would like to talk about is that most of the people when they go to learn some martial arts, they usually tend to have it for revenge. Like, okay, I've been bullied when I was young. Now I got the moves, I got the abilities. Let's just go destroy the whole world. This is not it. This is not the essence of being a martial artist. It's all about not only respect, but also defending yourself and defending the weak. If you're gonna use your power against everyone, if you're gonna use the MMA that you've been taught against everyone, believe me, the sensei himself, he will just sense this.
Yes.
He will know that. He will simply see that in your eyes and how you're fighting and everything. If he sensed a bit of anger in you, that's it. You won't be taught anything else.
Is there any funny moment or embarrassing moment in MMA for you?
Yeah,
When you did
actually,
it?
during my training in Dragon Dance Dojo, it's mixed. So me and other girls were training and everyone. So actually, there's a certain move which I wasn't able to do good. It's a simple takedown, a simple leg takedown. And the point is that you would carry your partner and just throw him in air. What happened is I wasn't able to do it, and then this girl, she's shorter than me, thinner than me, and probably weaker when it comes to muscles, and she just did it to me like 3 to 4 times, and the whole dojo was like just looking. Not even the sensei did it, but she just did it. She kept on putting me up in the air and throwing me. And I would stand up again, try to do it to her. I can't. She would do again, and again. So yeah, I literally got my kicked by a girl over and over. So yeah, that's
How about during the
training.
match? Have you faced any, I don't know, scary opponents perhaps?
Well, yeah. Once I've been okay. One of my matches was against second place boxing championship, second place boxing champion. During the match, his sensei is standing outside. I didn't have my sensei with me. Okay, because when you're in the EFC or in matches, you don't play with the name of Dragon Den Dojo, because Dragon Den Dojo, it's all about family. It's about training you, the essence, not about training fighters to go into championships. It's just training MMA completely, having a family. That's it, not building up a fighter for championships. So, however, during this fight, I would hear his sensei screaming at him like, "Use your legs, punch him," stuff like that. The point is, whenever the sensei is talking, I know his next step, so I'm always blocking it before he does it. But then it came that one moment where I got into an arm bar. The scary point is that I was really exhausted in this match. An arm bar is simply locking the arm and raising it
We'll
so it
probably
might
can show
break.
it after this.
Yeah, we'll show it after this. And the problem is that I was in a point which my arm could really break. And I just decided not to surrender, and I kept on trying to get off this armbar, and then I successfully got out of it. But the point is, the percentage of getting off an armbar is around
really low.
Yeah, it's really low.
Okay then, so why don't we just show the move right now with our special guest, Youssef Tweedy.
Our mini Hulk.
Nobody.
Our mini Hulk. So
The mini hug.
Nobody.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, so first of all, probably you want to show the viewers a headlock, probably, because that's one of the most common things
let's
that
take off
happen.
the watches.
Okay.
So let's speak about a typical headlock and how to get out of it. Good. So for a typical headlock, your hands are supposed to be like this, to the back of the hand. So here it is. I'm locking this area between my arms with the heads down. You always need to keep the heads down. Good? So either your body is like this, your waist is perpendicular on his waist, or like this. That's a typical headlock. Good? Now let's go on to how to get out of the typical headlock. Please, sweetie. Yes? Okay. Let's start by saying that you need to put your chin on his arm, just to allow the blood to flow.
So the first one is the chin.
The chin, just put the chin.
The chin,
Just
okay.
put the chin. If you can, just go down a bit, bend your body a bit, so you'll be able to put the chin. Good? Now how to get out of it? There are a couple of moves. Let's begin by a simple elbow to the stomach. Good? Or a back of your leg, just kick his legs, kick his belly, or kick the lower area. Good? Or this simple move where I get my leg behind him, and with my waist and my hand holding his knees, I just carry him up and drop him down.
Okay, what if he's heavier? He's really heavy that you cannot
as long as you got your waist, the movement of the waist and holding the knees, he will definitely break. For example, Tweety is around 90 kilograms, and I'm around 70 kilograms, and yet I was able to carry him swiftly. It's all about the movement of the waist and holding the knees. As long as you can do that, that's it. To the other move.
To the other move.
Yes.
How about this? When someone hold your collar?
Attacks me like this. Okay. So this is
a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle. Okay. Yes.
Good. So a bit of a simple move. This is the elbow area. Good. I would, with this area of my hand, I would do like this, and now he's down. I got a lot of things that I could do. First of all, I could give him a headbutt. So either to the head or to the nose, just to make sure he's down. Good. Also, again, I could do like this with the knee.
Okay. So
not only do I get him to break this, but I also get my knee with a lot of force into his stomach. Good. Also, again, so it's like this with the knee.
Right.
Again, like this with the knee. Or like this with a headbutt. Like this with the headbutt. Good.
Okay. The third one. What if someone is above you on the ground?
On the ground. Okay.
How about the simple? Just show the simple one that everyone can do.
Simple one that everyone can do. Okay. So first of all, usually if he's building this distance, that means he's an experienced guy. If he's not building up the distance, get down. If he's not building up the distance, you can just raise your waist and you make sure he's gonna throw.
Okay.
Just as long as you can raise his weight. If he's experienced and he's doing like this, good. Just make sure that you're blocking. Good. Get one leg out. Hold this hand, leg above his neck, under your knees, and that's it. Keep on holding his hands, and that's it. He's probably gonna faint. Good. You can move your waist right to left just to make sure that he won't stand up. How to get out of it? Please, Tweety, stand up. Yes. And then he would just drop me on the floor.
Okay.
Just drop me on the floor. Good. Thank you, Tweety.
Okay.
Thank you, Tweety.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tweety.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So.
Sorry, guys, my watch.
Okay. So that's the end of our segment today. I hope you learned a lot from today's about the basic self-defense, about the knowledge about the sports in Egypt itself. So stay tuned with us on the next episode, on the next segments. We're gonna have a lot more interesting topics to talk about. So see you next time in Face to Face.
Thank you, Ray.